Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special Today's Homeowner podcast. You know, here at Today's Homeowner, we're always looking at different subjects about the home that may need a little more explaining, a little more information to help you make the right decisions, and particularly the maintenance of things that need to be done. And one of those systems that a lot of people still can't figure out is their central air conditioning and heating system. So I thought it would be great for us to connect with our friends at American Standard HVAC. Mark Woodruff is with me right now, Outdoor Product Manager. And hey, Mark, thanks so much for being with us, because we get so many questions about air conditioning and heating, and you guys have been around doing this for a long time. I think it would be good for our audience for you to maybe just give a little history of American Standard HVAC.
Sure, Danny. Thanks for having me. Yeah, American Standard, we are not new to the air conditioning business for sure. We've been in business for well over 100 years, and we've got a great lineup of both air conditioning products, both split systems, package systems, commercial systems, and then a great lineup also of indoor air quality products like air filters and humidifiers and fresh air products and things like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, in my house that I have lived in for 30 years, I've and in the process of about to sell it, move to my new place. The air conditioning systems there, I had 3 American Standard systems put in about 10 years ago. And one of the things, back then you started learning about some of these things that are very standard now, the variable speed systems. I've had a little trouble explaining the advantage of that to a lot of people, and the energy efficiency of it, the evenness of the cooling cycle, and also when you have your system sitting out by your patio, you can barely hear it. That was kind of a game changer a few years ago, wasn't it, having variable speed capabilities?
Absolutely, yeah. So the latest technology in air conditioning is what we call variable speed technology. That's what you were just talking about. And so variable speed systems, they don't just turn on and turn off like an older, what we would call maybe a traditional HVAC system. But instead, they adjust their output, so they can give more cooling or they can give less cooling. They can ramp up or they can ramp down, depending on how hot it is and how much air does your house need to stay cool at that particular day. American Standard, we actually pioneered that technology back in the 1980s. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Wow, no, I didn't.
Yeah, honestly, in the last 10 years, I would say that technology has grown and developed at an amazing rate. And so now it's becoming more commonplace. And so American Standard's AccuComfort variable speed cooling system is efficient. It's quiet, like you said, and it's going to give you maximum comfort and humidity control. And like you said, the level of comfort and how quiet these systems are simply amazing when you compare them what you and I are used to, an old single-stage system.
Well, I know it certainly is. The 2 units, I actually was at my house today, and guys getting things ready for me to sell it, and we trimmed around it. Which, hey, that's we're going to drop a number of little hints in along the way here as we talk about air conditioning on things you need to do. One thing people don't do is clear around those outside condenser units sufficiently enough, and that's what we were doing today, is to make sure that was all plenty of room there. And I was just amazed standing beside that thing, having a conversation with the guy that was helping me out, and it is so quiet. It's unbelievable. But one of the things there that's another key to kind of a misconception in properly cooling your home is making sure that system is the right size. Because just like you're talking about variable speed and having your fan system running a lot really helps to control the humidity and really helps on even comfortability and so forth. But if people will come out, and someone that's not as professional as our American Standard HVAC team will come out and they won't even size the unit. They'll say, you have a 3-ton now, you need another 3-ton. Well, should I go up to 3.5? Yeah, let's go up to 3.5.
Right.
Tell our listeners about short cycling and why bigger is definitely not better.
Right. So having the right size air conditioner for your home means everything. If the system's too small, that means it's going to run all of the time, and you're going to be uncomfortable because it's too small to cool your house, right? It can't cool the house down. On the other hand, if it's too big, that means it's going to constantly short cycle, right? And when a system does that, it doesn't properly take out the humidity from the house, and all you're going to get are these short blasts of cold air and then nothing. And that's gonna make you uncomfortable there in the house. So an experienced dealer is going to help you select the system that's the right size for your home. And he'll also ensure that your HVAC system is installed properly so that you can get the highest efficiency possible from your system.
And not to get too complicated on it, but the professionals at American Standard HVAC are also going to make sure you're getting the proper intake of return air, that people have no idea how important that is to get that good sampling of air going into the air handler and then it going out after it's cooled, because I hear a lot of people talking about, a lot of professionals talking about return air just being starved, that they're not getting enough air to the system, so they're not getting a proper sampling, and it's really affecting the distribution of the air. That's something I think over the last few years people have gotten to be a lot more conscious about.
They have. It's one of the most common problems that we hear about is having a restricted intake on your system that can cause all kinds of problems.
We're talking with Mark Woodruff, Outdoor Product Manager for American Standard HVAC. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like the gap between your bed and wall that's big enough for your phone, but not your hand. Or the gutters growing their own trees. Or the wall outlet your kids keep calling Sparky. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be your heating or air conditioning. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Hey, I want to remind you about the special webpage we have set up for Keep Your Cool Week, and it's at todayshomeowner.com/keepyourcool. Need to check it out. There's so many great videos on there and so many things that can explain the mystery of cooling your home. And we're back talking with Mark Woodruff, who is the Outdoor Product Manager with American Standard HVAC. Now, filters, boy, I hear all kinds of things about filters. To me, the cheap filter at the grocery store that costs $3, why bother? I mean, I've been able to take like a handful of playground sand and drip it on there, and it comes right through. How can it possibly really filter that air going through there? And I've heard a statistic of at some point, I know it's close to being right, I'm not sure if it's exactly right, but I like to use it to emphasize the importance of filtering that air, is that all of the cubic foot in your house will go through that filter about 2 to 3 times per hour. So whatever that exact amount is and everything really shows the significance of filtering that air. Now, you mentioned earlier about some of the advancements that you guys have done through your technology in filtering. What would you say to a homeowner that's getting a brand new system? Should they go with the upgrade, the filter, the pleated filter that may only need to be changed every 6 months, or the regular filter type grill? What do you think on that? What's the best way to go?
Well, there's a trade-off. On the one hand, you have filtration efficiency, like you mentioned. On the other hand, or the other side of the equation, I guess, is static pressure drop. And there's a trade-off that you have to make there. Generally speaking, I like more efficient filters. That's better for you, it's better for your family, and for your home. If you look at the static pressure drop rating of the air filter, if you're going to upgrade from the cheap, $2 air filter that, like you said, is low restriction, but it's not very efficient either. If you're going to make the upgrade, look at the static pressure drop rating for the filter. Uh-huh. And if you do that, what you'll find more often than not is that I don't really recommend the 1-inch high-efficiency air filters, because the static pressure across those tends to be fairly high. I much prefer to get one of the bigger, the 6-inch thick media filters for that application. And like you said, that's going to, rather than having to be replaced every month, you can go 6 months, or even some of them are rated for a year, but they have a low pressure drop, which your system is really good for your system.
If you were to take one of these and take it apart and spread this pleated filter out. It's going to cover up your whole table just about, versus one of the really inexpensive ones that are what you see. So that's where another great example of just the coverage that it has, the physical filtering coverage that it has is pretty significant. So I definitely am a big believer in the pleated filters like that. Now, okay, smart thermostats. They've gotten so smart now, they're not even calling them thermostats anymore. Comfort controls and different aspects of that. American Standard's on the forefront of that as well. And man, can these things are doing a heck of a lot more than just telling you what temperature you have in your home these days.
They are, yeah. Smart thermostats today can connect to your Wi-Fi, right, and they connect to the internet. And what's nice about that is, most manufacturers or whoever makes the thermostat, right, they're going to have some sort of an app that you can install. And the great thing about it is, how many times have you driven away from your house, you've gotten to work, and you thought, I forgot to turn the thermostat down.
I know it.
I did it again. And so all day long while you're home, while you're at work or while you're away from the house, your air conditioner is at the wrong setting when you're not there, right? So what's nice about having a smart thermostat that's connected is that you can, with any smartphone, go into the app, change the temperature back down, and you can do that from anywhere.
Yeah, that's perfect. I have that app right now, and it's just like you said, you hate to be using the air conditioner more than you need when you can bump it up a few degrees when you're not there. That definitely is giving you a lot of power on that. Hey, I want to remind everybody, we have a special section of our website at todayshomeowner.com/Keep Your Cool. It's part of our Keep Your Cool week that this week we've been sharing a lot of different things all over social media, and certainly trying to emphasize now's the time for those preventative measures. Now's the time to really think about your air conditioning as a whole. Think about it this way. If you can make your air conditioning and heating system a little more efficient, you're going to really save a lot of money, because it's really representing over half of your utility bill. So doesn't it make sense to spend a little time learning a little bit about that? And at todayshomeowner.com/Keep Your Cool, I guarantee you'll find some great information there. We're talking with Mark Woodruff, Outdoor Product Manager for American Standard HVAC. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like the stair that only creaks when everyone else in the house is asleep. Or the smell in the vegetable crisper that no way can be vegetables. Or hoping those bees just take care of themselves. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be your heating or air conditioning. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
And we're back talking with Mark Woodruff, who is the Outdoor Product Manager with American Standard HVAC. When we get to the life expectancy of central air and heat, run anywhere from 10 to 12 years, I guess, somewhere along those lines. When someone's ready to replace that unit or exploring it, what are the best ways to go on that one, Mark?
I would say far and away the most common time that people will replace or upgrade their AC system is when the old one is either giving them problems, or maybe it's already broken down and the repair bill is high enough that the homeowner is having to weigh their options. And they say, well, do I spend a lot of money to fix this old machine, knowing that because of its age, this could happen again maybe next year, or do I go ahead and take the opportunity now to go ahead and upgrade it with a new one, right? So I encourage people to have that conversation with their American Standard dealer or technician, because they can help walk you through your options and help get you the information that you need to make that decision.
Well, one of the parts of that discussion is going to be SEER rating, the Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio. A big long term, but it's pretty simple, I guess. The higher the SEER number, the more money you're going to save year after year. But also, the higher the SEER number, the higher the cost of the equipment. Where's the sweet spot? Is it at 18 SEER? Is it 20 SEER? What do you think nowadays? And of course, the federal mandate, what is it up to? I think a minimum of 14 now, or 16?
Well, they have different minimums for different areas of the country, depending on if it's an AC or a heat pump. But yeah, generally speaking, 13 to 14 SEER, depending on where you live. And actually, the Department of Energy just recently released a new minimum efficiency. It doesn't go into effect until 2023, but all the manufacturers are getting ready for that. And Not only did they raise the minimum, but they also changed the test criteria to be a little tougher, right? They have us test at a higher static pressure drop and some other things that are going to make it more challenging to get the ratings that we have today. So there is a change coming on down the road. But like you said, the higher the SEER rating, the more efficiency and the less you're going to spend on your utility bill every year. You asked what the sweet spot is. I think that's an impossible question. Everybody's going to have a different answer. The interesting thing is that generally your 14 SEER kind of entry-level equipment is going to be your basic single-stage 14 SEER product, less expensive, but less efficient. And then as you go up to the higher 16 SEER equipment, you can get two-stage, and then 18 and 20 SEER and above, you start to get into variable speed equipment. It really comes down to how much time do you spend in your house, and how comfortable do you want to be, and how willing are you to upgrade to that higher efficiency equipment to get that better comfort, like the variable speed system that you talked about earlier.
And I think a lot of times people use criteria of how long will you be in the house? I'm only going to be here till the kids graduate, so that's 2 or 3 more years, and we're going to downsize, or I'm going to, be here forever. I want the best darn system I can get. So a lot of that plays into it, and that's why, spending some time before you're actually sitting there and it's 100 degrees and you need a system and you don't have time to think through these things, to be proactive and go ahead and have the American Standard HVAC Pro out to advise you on some of these things. That's the thing to do right now, I think, to really help that out. Hey, this special Today's Homeowner podcast is brought to you by American Standard HVAC, built to a higher standard. We're talking with Mark Woodruff, Outdoor Product Manager for American Standard HVAC. One of the things you touched on earlier, and we touch on all the time here at Today's Homeowner, is indoor air quality. And, I want to think that homeowners have really listened to us home improvement experts over the years about sealing the envelope of the home. So we've sealed the envelope of the home. We're saving money. It's more comfortable all year round, but we're trapping things in there. So we talk about the exhaust fans and how important it is in the bathroom, in the kitchens, to get that hot, moist air out of there. But there's nothing that's going to help on that indoor air quality better than a properly operating heating and cooling system. It's just the really the ground zero part of making sure you have indoor air quality.
Sure. So next to managing the temperature in your home, your HVAC system's next most important function is going to be, like you said, indoor air quality, or IAQ as we call it, right? And that includes everything from humidity, which if you've ever been in a damp, muggy, kind of musty home, you know how uncomfortable that can be. And it also includes air filtration, which is becoming more and more important. Like you said, as a society, we're starting to see a significant rise in the percentage of people that have respiratory ailments like asthma and allergies. And indoor air quality also means having fresh, clean air from the outside that's been properly filtered, it's been properly dehumidified, and it's been heated or cooled. But bringing in that fresh air so that you're not stuck recirculating and rebreathing the air that's in your house. American Standard, we've got products that will facilitate all of those needs, from filtration to humidity to fresh air. We have products to make sure that the air inside your home is cleaner, and it's fresher, and it's healthier both for you and for your family.
Well, Mark, it certainly has been great talking with you about this, and I hope we've been able, between Mark and I, to share with you some of the ideas to make it a little easier to make some of the decisions. Certainly, the preventative measures are as important as anything. Having that professional from American Standard come out and service your air conditioning heating system to make sure it's clean, it's calibrated, it's working right, it's safe for your family, it's efficient. That's the most important. Decide on what type of filter you want. Change it on a regular basis. Tighten up that envelope of the home, and then make sure that you're clearing all of the debris away from your outdoor condenser unit. These are some things that are very simple to do, and right now with the air conditioning systems working overtime, the heat is rising all over the country. Now's the time to get all of these done. Again, I want to remind you about that special website, todayshomeowner.com/ keep your cool. We've assembled some of our best how-to videos, some great simple solutions, and some inside tips to really keep your home cool, your energy bill in check all summer long. Again, that's todayshomeowner.com. Keep your cool. And if you want to kind of drill down in a lot of the different areas of American Standard equipment and so forth, AmericanStandardAir.com. We've been talking with Mark Woodruff, the outdoor product manager at American Standard HVAC. Mark, thanks so much for taking some time to be with us. I think we've steered some of our listeners in the right direction, and certainly I know that they can head over to AmericanStandardAir.com if they have any other questions. I certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, and I can't wait for our next conversation.
Thanks a lot, Mark.